1. Absolutely impossible for the chase car to follow. From there on out, Hugh, he did redeem proximity, especially coming into the first and the second hairpin as well. It was enough to just get back on Alexis's door, but kind of a scrappy run there, so it evened out at a 5-5 and came down to the first run for Hugh.
So there you go. We go back to the start line, Eddie, and words from Jason Clark earlier in the canteen was that Ricky Lawrence is going to feel the wrath of the V8 in this car. Big words from Jason Clark.
Big words from Jason Clark.
So it is on the line. We do have the Slide Motorsport driver, Jason Clark, in that V8 RX-7, taking on Ricky Lawrence, our Drift Cup driver, making the grade.
Jason Clark, put your money where your mouth is. Let's see what happens here.
Look
as
at
they
Ricky
leave the
Lawrence.
line.
Oh, and contact. Yeah, and contact.
Do you know what? I think it was the other way around. Jason Clark felt the wrath of the S14 of Ricky Lawrence, but not in the way that Lawrence would have wanted. Contact through the first corner, both cars.
Yeah, look, Lawrence over-rotated massively, tapped on the back end of Clark. Yeah, gave him the nudge, pushed him around. You know what? Yeah, Ricky Lawrence was just really laying the authority down there to Jason Clark, like, you might be the top boy from Slide Motorsport, but I'm here for you.
I'm here for you, yeah. They're heading back to the line, 10-0 disadvantage to Lawrence. No need to go to the judges for that one, pretty clear cut as they came through, not sure. No, 10-0 disadvantage.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie just get a little bit confused there of what's going on.
I wasn't confused about anything.
It was everybody else.
Everybody else.
Yeah, that's all right then.
I said disadvantage to Lawrence.
Yeah, that's right. So, our track marshal just having a word there.
Apologies, just being questioned and then forgetting that I'm on a microphone.
So we're going to get those guys back to the start line, where we will see a Ricky Lawrence lead in Jason Clark. Jason Clark looking very, very good in practice earlier. We see him battling with Scott Cartledge quite a lot, you know, getting that seat time together, then that twin practice. You know, Jason Clark said he's not messing around, home circuit.
No, certainly not. And we saw two, you know, very comfortable qualifying runs from him, both scoring in the 70s, and he looks very confident out there. He's another guy that's definitely going to maybe have a say in this, the deciding of the championship. And I'm surprised Jason Clark's not further up the order. Is sitting in 9th position though. So, is there a top 3 finish in the book, the playbook for him this weekend? As he almost loses it there and hands a 10-0 advantage back the other way, but keeps it going and now starts to apply the pressure. Look at the chase driving here from Jason Clark.
He's offline though, Eddie. A very, very bad line there from Jason Clark. This is scrappy from Clark. We know he has a 10-0 advantage, but you know what? Judge is going to be marking him down heavily going into this. As Ricky Lawrence takes it to the wall and across the line. Yeah, I mean, very, very scrappy there from Clark. The initiation was quite fast from both those guys. You can see the initiation starting to dry up ever so slightly from the handbrake drags.
Yep, scores do come in, and taking it through to the top 16 is Jason Clark. Quickly back to the judges. The first run really deciding that one, but the second run.
Yeah, first run deciding that. I mean, you know, Jason came out, was real aggressive there in the chase positioning. I think he actually contacted Ricky, giving him a bit of a nudge, but not fully sort of spinning him out or anything like that, which is you know, not ideal. But you know, aggressive chase there. Good lead from Ricky, but nothing to overturn the 10-0 from the previous run.
So there you go, the 10-0 advantage, not being able to be overturned.
Two of the smallest cars on the grid. Martin Wanacott coming up against Scott Cartledge. Tiny cars.
Tiny cars, tiny horsepower.
Yeah.
Yeah. V8 turbo, 2JZ. Martin Wanacott in that JZX against Scott Cartledge in that R33 Skyline.
Probably we had 100 horsepower between the pair of them.
50 each.
Running on 15-inch rims.
So Scott Cartledge on the start line, are ready to lead in Martin Wanacott. Scott Cartledge, we just spoke about him. This guy looked serious at business in practice. What has he got? Martin Wanacott is going to have to bring his A game to take down Cartledge this afternoon. They're off the line, Eddie.
Yeah, Cartledge qualifying in 3rd position and Wanacott way down the order in 30th, so he really has to up his game here. And you just see, not getting that outer line, but Cartledge doing a really good job on a spin. Oh!
And Wanacott.
A big impact into the tyres. Just goes to show, I'd imagine a lot of that is to do with patchiness.
Yeah, I mean,
wet and dry patches on the track.
you could see the initiation was a little bit dry. As they come into clipping point 2, the track dried up. You could hear a clutch kicking it. And as they headed down from clipping point 2 to 3, the track was wet. So Wonnacott does manage to get that car off. Not sure if he's going to call a 5-minute rule. So we can confirm the scores are in, Eddie. It will be a 10-0 advantage to Scott Cartledge.
Yeah, just looking at Wonnacott, it looks as though the car may be all right, even after taking that impact into that tyre wall. Are we going to hear that he's going to take a 5-minute rule, just talking to our marshal, or he's going to go straight back to the line and try and overturn this 10-0 disadvantage? Very strange section of the track to go off.
Yeah, I mean, you're carrying a lot of speed there as well. The circuit is banked at clipping point 2, so as you come down, you know, it's off camber, you're carrying a lot of speed into the wall where clipping point 3 is. So, yeah, you stand on the accelerator and you lose grip, you're automatically going to spin. And, yeah, he actually nudged the back end of Scott Cartledge's car. And you know what, Scott Cartledge did well, Eddie, to hold on to it and not spin.
Yeah, certainly did, but, yeah, Scott, he's been looking very impressive. And you know, we talked about Brett Perry being on the right side of the bracket in terms of...
Look at this, big spin, just tags the back end of Cartledge's car.
No, actually, maybe, did he tag it?
Yeah, it looked like he tagged it. Yeah, we got multiple camera angles now, Eddie.
Yeah, from the guys that see it live who produce our live stream. Yeah, way off. He was nowhere near him. What were you thinking?
I don't know. Look at that, parks it in the wall.
Yeah, Wonnacott lucky that went into the tyre wall rather than that concrete wall, which is immovable. Because I think there would have been substantially more damage.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mark Huxley would have had his work cut out next week when Wonnacott dropped that car off on the way home today. So we're waiting to find out if Martin Wonnacott is going to call a 5-minute rule. No, and it looks like he is good to go, Eddie. He's making his way back to the start line. He's angry, I can hear it.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. You know, if I'd be angry too if I had a 10-0 disadvantage to Scott Cartledge, who is on form. And also, let's not forget, there's been a lot of talk about our top 3 drivers, Perry, Denham and Hayden. Cartledge only 10 points back.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big score for Cartledge. If Cartledge can do well here and then Denham takes out Hayden, Cartledge, where he'd need to win his top 16 battle, but you know what, it makes the opportunity for Cartledge to move forward better.
Cartledge could potentially come up against Brett Perry in the Grade 8.
Yeah.
So his fate is in his own hands. Perry not going to get it all his own way as well. We're just looking at some of the battles. Obviously, these guys have to come up against some, yeah. But we're just looking at the potential battles that we could see that would have massive implications on who's going to take this championship later on this afternoon. It will be decided here in Teesside before 6 o'clock this evening who's going to take it through. Scott Cartledge, Martin Wonnacott, they are off the line. Wonnacott with the 10-0 disadvantage. Cartledge in the chase position.
Yeah, tentative entry there from Wonnacott as he fires it in. And look at Scott Cartledge hunting down the rear door of that JZX. Oh, and Wonnacott shuts it down.
Yeah, Wonnacott very out on the track. Anyway, and again, you can just see, yeah, definitely a lot of errors creeping into Wonnacott's driving, and I would imagine, Ian, that was just, you know, the steering may not be as straight as he would have wanted it. So we wait on the judges' scores to drop in. And with a...
yeah, and we can confirm, Eddie, going through to the top 16 is Scott Cartledge. Scott Cartledge does take the win and go through. We don't need to head to our judges.
No, 10-0 across the board there again, and
yeah,
judges did that one. Yeah, a unanimous decision. No need to discuss it with the judges. We move it on to our next battle.
Yeah, that will be Lewis Mitchell to lead in Lee Barker. Lee Barker in that Midnight Motorsport R34 Skyline 4-door. Lewis Mitchell, only one run in it. I spoke to him at lunchtime. I said to him, you pulled off the line before your first qualifying run. What was up? He said the power steering belt jumped off just as he did his burnout. So had to have bought his first qualifying run. He only got one run in it, and he did it. Qualified in 14th position. Now faces Lee Barker, who looked very, very good in practice.
Yeah, certainly did. These two guys, 14th and 19th. So probably scoring very, very close together, mid-60s you'd imagine, and this one, there's no real favourite going into this one. Who can get it through the first corner, and then who can apply the pressure best?
But you know what?
Both drivers, big straight in there from Lewis Mitchell.
Yeah, Lewis Mitchell grabs a whole bunch of understeer after the initiation, waves a little bit into 3, but Lee Barker dives offline.
Yeah, very much offline there, Ian, and getting himself caught down the inside. It becomes a lot scrappier and a lot less fluid with the conditions so treacherous out there. It is patchy dry, patchy wet. Another very light shower of rain there just moments ago as well, which seems to have cleared, but certainly conditions not ideal for drifting. The scores are in, and taking a 7-3 advantage is Lee Barker. We go back to our judges very quickly to get a quick rundown on what happened on that first run.
Yeah, that was a good run there from Lee, good chase run. You know, it made it very difficult for him to chase actually Lewis's line, especially coming down to the first hairpin. Lee had a bit of a mistake there, but that was kind of forced on him because of the knee injured the corner. But yeah, good chase, 7-3 after the first run, so we'll see how we go on the next one.
So there you go, Eddie. Straight from the judge's mouth, we do have a Lee Barker to lead in Lewis Mitchell. Lewis Mitchell now really needs to bring that proximity game.
Yeah, you can just see from that particular angle the sun starting to shine here in Teesside. Beautiful blue skies behind us.
Yep, as they make their way down the start line, Lee Barker absolutely firing at this end skyline, but he's on a very wrong line, Eddie. Lee Barker is on the wrong line there. Lewis Mitchell throws on big angles, starts to back out of it. Look at the line of Lee Barker. This is so wrong. It leads Lewis Mitchell into a very, very early.
And you can just see how difficult our drivers are finding it out there with that first corner, and I think that's what's led the rest. Struggling to get that line right. Calamity of errors.
So we wait for the scores to...
The other judges going inside 6-4. Inside 6-4 advantage to Lewis just because of Lee's bad lead line, but not enough to overturn the disadvantage from the first run.
So,
championship.
yeah, and you know what? If I was Wayne Curran, who will be not overly on form and may not contend, or you get a Wayne Curran who come out and absolutely blitz it.
Yeah.
He's qualified in 27. Don't let that fool you, because he's a different animal when it comes to the battles. What are we going to see? Look at that aggression straight from the off from Wayne Curran. Now, will he get on the door?
Wow. Now, what way do the judges look at that? Very, very late, slow initiation from Brett Perry. From Brett Perry. Wayne Curran held out massively. Judges wanted to see a look at Wayne Curran.
Initiation. Brett looks to just come in way too hot, over rotates between clipping point 1 and 2, and then has a massive straighten. If he'd have continued drift immediately on, there might have been some hope, but he straightened for a good 4 or 5 seconds before reinitiating again. That was enough time to make it to deem it a 10-0 advantage then to Wayne going into the second run.
So there you go, Eddie. Not right now for Brett Perry to be sitting in, but we've seen him come back from these sort of situations.
Yeah, and I think if you are Brett Perry, you're in the chase position, you say, okay, it's in my own hands here. I have to be as aggressive as possible. Track conditions not perfect. He has to be on the door right from the off. You can just see the aggression straight off the line. He's side by side with Wayne Curran. His championship hopes of 2017.